Hello and welcome to the On a Roll podcast. I am your host, Michaela Krupski, here with my fantastic co-host, CJ Medeiros. And today we're just going to talk about cars. Best cars, worst cars, coolest cars, in our humble opinions. So, CJ, I know you have a lot to say, so why don't you get us started?
So, the world of cars, obviously, is very interesting. There's tons of people, and I have some people that I know, who I would call friends, that are obsessed with cars, automobiles, the entire thing. And I personally wouldn't consider myself the biggest car guy, but let me tell you something. I know what I like. And when it comes to a brand that I trust, let me tell you something, folks. I do indeed trust BMW.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, just based on my personal preference, something that I happen to really like is the BMW 8 Series. Now that I actually do know a few people that have that. It's a very nice car. Been in it, rides really well, handles really well. In fact, internationalbrandequity.com refers to it as, and I quote, the ultimate driving machine.
Ooh.
And let me tell you something, I agree. Now, don't let the word luxury performance throw you off. BMWs, they're for everyone. You know, families, like there's mid-sized BMWs, there's convertibles, there's just regular sedans. BMW has something literally for everyone.
Like they're versatile.
Exactly. It's the sheer versatility that I love so much. You know, you got your sedans, like I said, you got your coupes, you got your SUVs, and sports cars. For example, my mom has a BMW convertible sports car. And let me tell you something, that thing, chef's kiss, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And like I mentioned, the handling. On rocky roads, smooth paved highways, it's all the same. It's all good. It also, what BMWs, they're safe. They can definitely take a hit and still keep you safe. And that's what I like because I'm not a big fan of driving, personally. Especially if you're in this New England region with us. You know that people here, not going to say they're not fans of driving, but they certainly drive like they're not fans of it.
Yeah, no.
So just have that added safety feature, for me, it makes all the difference in the world.
Mm-hmm. Like, my mom has the BMW X3, and, like, it's like a small SUV, which is kind of what she wanted, because she downgraded from an Audi Q7, which was massive. But she wanted something smaller, and it's cool. Like, she has, like, a navy blue paint job, and then the interior is red, which is really cool. And, like, the screen is huge, and it has, like, this, like, backup camera feature that, like, shows the backup cam, but it also shows an aerial view, which I thought was insane.
Yep. I dare say BMW, especially the 8 Series, which is my personal favorite model of it. That's just a good brand overall, but the 8 Series is a really, really good model. So, Michaela, what about you?
So, I may or may not be biased, but consumerreports.org, I found a whole thing, an article on best cars of the year, 10 top picks of 2024. The first one to show up happens to be the Subaru Crosstrek, which also happens to be what I drive. So I have a 2019 Subaru Crosstrek. It's amazing. I love it. It has been fantastic for the past 5 or so years that I've had it. It's super nice, heated seats. I have the leather interior. It's great. It's super safe. Like, my parents wanted me to have a Subaru because of the safe reputation. And the Crosstrek was really nice. Like, it wasn't too boxy. Like, I drove the Outback and the Forester. I thought they were both super boxy and, like, way too wide. The Crosstrek is nice. It's a perfect size. I don't need anything huge because, like, I don't really, like, carry around a ton or, like, a ton of people. It has the backup cam, which is really nice. It's got a bunch of safety features, like the seatbelts lock after a certain point. It has the lane guidance thing, like when I swerve out of the lane or, like, I touch the paint on the road, like, it beeps telling me to zoom back in. Like, I know some cars have the, like, automatic wheel that, like, the wheel automatically, like, turns you back in the lane, which I personally hate. Like, I had to turn that off. But, it has 29 miles per gallon overall. It's great on gas. Yeah, like, I could go on and on and on about my car. Like, I love it. And I may be biased, like I said, but, like, it's just a great car.
So here's the thing. I am not necessarily the biggest fan of SUVs.
Mm-hmm.
Not really my style. However, I will tip my hat towards towards the Mikhail Mobile, we'll call it. But all jokes aside, it's the safety feature, like I said with the BMW, that would allure me if I were a parent towards that particular SUV, especially like Subarus. Well, what's their slogan? We've all seen it on TV. That's what makes a Subaru. That's what they say, and it's the safety for it. And also, you get that thing in a good color. Well, come on.
Oh yeah, I love my color. They call it cool gray khaki, and it's like a nice light. Like some people see it as blue, some people as gray. To me, it depends on the day. It's like a light bluish gray. It's like the sky on a cloudy day type thing. Like, that's how I would describe the color. And you've been in my car. Like, what do you have to say about my car, personally?
Well, I definitely think it handles well. The rides have always been smooth.
Mm-hmm.
And should there be a time where we were in danger of getting hit, which there wasn't, of course, but if there was, I would feel relatively safe, knowing that this thing, like I said, is like some of the highest safety ratings ever. Also, but like you said, it's like the beeping when it lets you know like you're touching the paint. Mm-hmm. That's always good. And I definitely think more cars should have that. I know some do, but I also think that more should.
Yeah, like something that I hate in the moment, but also think like it's been a huge help is the auto stop. If I'm about to hit something, my car will automatically brake. Like if the person in front of me stops too hard, like it automatically brakes, and like you could hear it. Like it's really nice for safety features.
Yeah. So, Michaela, I dare say that's all well and good, but it's time to move on to, real quick, some cars that perhaps we're not as fond of.
Mm-hmm.
So, for me, it's got to be the Tesla Model Y. Now, I am just saying, from a pure aesthetic perspective, I am not a fan. You may have seen one of these on the road, and perhaps I am equal parts old and in the way, but a car without that front grille. See, the front grille gives it character, gives it panache, if you will.
Yeah.
But when I see it without the front grille, I just go, what in the heck is wrong with that? Oh, wait, it's a Tesla. But all jokes aside, I mean, safety-wise, it's fine, but it's the fact that it doesn't hold a charge as well as some of its electric counterparts, such as like the Model 3 and even the Model X. Also, while it is safe, there is one thing that definitely knocks it down for me, is that if it crashes, the battery has been known to combust.
Ooh.
We've all seen it online. Tesla crashes into something and the entire car just lights the heck up like a Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm.
And these are electrical fires. They're a little tougher to put out. And sometimes, we all hate it because, we all love our cars. But when a car reaches the end of its lifespan, and goes to the junkyard, well, those also have a nasty habit of exploding there too.
Yeah.
So until they can make Teslas that do not explode when hit, I'm going to have to push the Model Y off to the side.
Yeah. And like, don't they have the self-drive feature for the Tesla? Like, how safe is that really?
Well, it's still called experimental technology for a reason.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. Now, like, one car that, like, when CJ asked me, like, the cars that I don't like, I immediately thought of those little box cars. Like, the ones that just straight up look like a box. More specifically, the Kia Soul. Like, there's nothing I have against the drive of it personally. I've personally never been in a Kia Soul. But, like, just the look of it is kind of just gross. Like, I do not like box cars. It's just driving a literal square. A cube, if you will. Like, and with the Kia Souls, it's always the green one. I always see the green one everywhere. And I'm like, what? Like, it's just a green, shiny green, like, vomit green cube staring at me on the road. And I'm like, what is this?
Well, aesthetic choices aside, as far as the Kia Soul, we can't forget the engine recall.
That's what I was just looking at.
So, Michaela, before we head for home here, You want to tell us like a little bit about that?
The 2020 and 2021 Kia Souls have piston oil rings that are not properly heat treated, which result in engine damage, according to mylemon.com. And a damaged engine can stall, which increases the risk of a crash, obviously. And then oil leaks, of course, which obviously, like, your car's going to set on fire if you have a bad oil leak. This also goes along with shifting delays, gear grinding, acceleration hesitation, and, like, just the smell of something burning. Like, I would not want that in a car, especially if I had a car as ugly as that one.
Yeah, well, bad enough that, like, from an aesthetic perspective, it's has a lot to be desirable, call it, but the engine failures don't exactly put my fears to rest. We'll just say that.
Yeah, no.
I mean, if it looked better, maybe it could get away with it, but until it does, the engine thing is just not something I can overlook, I fear.
Like, absolutely not. But, yeah, that's all we have. Hope you enjoyed this podcast. I am Michaela Krupski, signing off for CJ Medeiros, and we will see you next time.